Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody out there. Jason here is at Tree Sports, and a pleasure it is to have you live and in charge for a little Chop Racing action tonight. The Cup Series back for week 14, and it is a little road course action. We're going to see some road courses pretty much all weekend. We've got a road, actually, I take that. We've got a road course tomorrow with Watkins Glen, and then we've got Talladega on Sunday. So just two road courses this weekend. Tonight, Brands Hatch is going to be on tap for the series, and here's a look at what you got going on. Race information here for Brands Hatch Circuit. It is going to be 35 laps. Stage lap's going to be at lap 10. No cautions in this race, though, so they're going to be taking the cautions out of it. Stage lap's going to be at lap 10. They're going to have to pit for fuel at least once. It is just kind of what they do. They do have one fast repair to help the drivers get themselves in there, but if you're going to have to tow one, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting to see. ChopRacing.net for all the Chop Racing action today. A little behind, so I was trying to catch some things up. Just had me run a couple of errands. Be cruising around. I think this is a whole different kind of ball of wax. I had to do some research because I didn't even own the track until yesterday. So Brands Hatch is a motor racing circuit in the West Kingston, Kent, England, United Kingdom area. It is originally used as a grass track motorcycle circuit on farmland, and it has hosted 12 runnings of the British Grand Prix from between 1964 and 1986, and currently hosts many British and international racing events. The venue is owned and operated by Jonathan Palmer's Motorsport Vision organization. There's a lot of turns. I say there's a lot of turns. The Grand Prix for the current segment here has 9 turns, but they have some interesting names to the current sector, and it's going to be interesting. We're seeing what was it, two and some change when it comes to the race information here. Let's look at that. Yeah, 2.5 mile track, 103 degrees on the track temperature. That's what I missed, and 80 degrees on the air temperature, 44% humidity, clear skies, 19 mile an hour wind. So I wish the trees would billow. I think iRacing should work on that. If they're working on rain and they're working on the weather of this, I think if they have a 19 mile an hour wind, the trees in the simulator should be doing their thing. So we'll see how that's going to play out and see if that ever comes to play. Here's the starting grid for today's race. It's going to be a smaller field today. It's pretty normal here. Nathan Bigart is going to be your pole sitter. Mark Wretchen is going to be your outside pole sitter. Michael Strickland, Michael Matta going to make up row number 2. John Hammond, Derek Wegman are going to be their row number 3. Siegfried and Dov are going to be their row number 4. Dama, you're there, row number 5 inside of Bryce Kobler. And then Sanders and Roberge are going to be their row number 6. Row 7 be Clint Hackett, Grant Altizer, Brock Duty of the mix. Mr. Rayburn, good to see you out there. BJ Lane, thank you for the like out there, sir. Much love to you. Appreciate everybody doing it. BJ Lane and the Heart to Heart family will be tomorrow night. One of the things that we're going to be doing on Wednesdays for the next about 6 weeks is we're going to be back with the Wednesday night series for Heart to Heart. That is something we're going to be looking at. Alan Taylor, he came through and gave him a new series to be able to be a part of it. Let's go racing. Much love to the Heart to Heart streams out there. Everybody could just cruise around. Keeping it on the racetrack is going to be the biggest thing. I think that's one of the things that we see about this racetrack or any road series racing when it comes to the NASCAR circuit. It's interesting. It is interesting. I don't even know what setup they're using, if they have a setup for this car. They're probably using something similar to maybe Circuit of the Americas. The elevation changes are the big thing that I see out of this one. It is. It's almost a Formula One Grand Prix style. It's got some passing zones, some tough passing zones, elevated. The elevations. I'm trying to find. I have notes on this. I'm trying to find what the elevation change was, because that was it was in my notes. Hold on. I can find it. I promise. Let's see. Wikipedia might have the better answer real quick. I thought I put it in here. I might not have. It's all good. And it's huge. It's a big old dang old track. Turn 1 is where this whole track segment just kind of looks. Turn 1 is the Paddock Hill Bend. They have the Halewoods Hill that drops in. The Druids is basically a big horseshoe And it's going to have some speeds that crest out. They're going to have Graham Hill and Graham Hill Bend. That's going to be a left-hander that they're going to see. The Cooper straightaway has a dog leg with the Surtees, which is where the McLaren turnaround would be, which was the shortened version of this racetrack. And then the Pilgrims Drop, which is where the drivers are going through right now. Big elevation change. And then basically a right-hander. That's Hawthorne Hill. To the Derek Minter straightaway. Westfield is going to be the right-hander that's going to be coming up here. It's going to have all kinds of characteristics when it comes to getting into this corner. Then the Dingle Dell. Not going to be able to remember these names. There's so many different names for this one. Dingle Dell, and then it's going to be a little bit of a dog leg straightaway, and then the Sheen Curve. Going to be another right-hander you're going to see. Left-hander coming up is going to be Sterling's. Yeah, basically the Dingle Dell is like a weird-looking chicane, but the left-hander coming up right here, that's Sterling's. The straightaway to the Clearways, Barb Clark, and back to the Brabham Straight, which is going to be the right-hander that's going to be coming up here. We'll throw the track map up so everybody can see what's going on. It's going to be interesting. That's for darn sure. We'll keep everybody apprised to where the drivers are. Right now, see the 01 on the inside, the 24 on the outside, as the road course racing gets underway here for week 14 here for Chop Chop Racing. Brands Hatch, lap 1 underway. A couple of drivers going to start from pit road. It's going to be Robers and John Hammond. John he's having a hold there. We'll see what everybody's going to do. You're going to see Robers a lap down. He is not going to be a lap down. This thing will cycle back and everything will be correct. And we'll see what's going to happen with these drivers. Mark Retchen's going to be in third. Striker trying to close back into Big Art. Big Art, current points leader in the series. Definitely given the industry look here as it was a work. Adam Dama's going to be back in the mix. There's a little bit of the driver cams for you for Beef Jerky Unlimited. We had a couple other drivers put in some driver cams. One I didn't know who it was because it was their right arm, and the other one, and a couple of them were like the foot pedal system that they're running. And I don't do that because I don't have it set up to do that. If the drivers' faces are up there, we would like to see the faces. I know the families want to see their faces; they don't want to see their feet. That's just kind of what we've done here. Driver cams are meant for showcasing the drivers, not showcasing the pedal system that they're running. So that's the only thing that I would say. I did put it in the Chop Chop Racing Discord. So if you guys are out there running driver cams, I don't want to see your feet. It's not pleasing. I promise you. Put it on your streams and your personal streams and roll with it. I encourage you to do that. A lot of folks would love to see that. Brad Dove having an issue. He's going to be coming back around. He had to have a hard stop. Altizer having an issue as well. We can issues here lap 1 or as lap 2 begins. There's a hard stop coming around the corner here. Yeah, cool. He got free in front of Bryce Kobler there. Got turned around, so he drops back to 12th. Kobler, nose damage. We'll see if the car's going to have any effect. We saw the separation of the nose, but iRacing, of course, put it back on. Says, he's fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. Joshua Siegfried put off the racetrack, trying to get the tires warmed up. And that's the thing about these cars. They're tough. You can beat on them and do their thing. What's up, Mr. Rayburn? How you doing, brother? You, Brian, and everybody out there. I haven't heard from you in a hot minute. I hope you're doing well, sir. I hope you're doing well. Much love to you. Much love to the Heart Streams. Much love. All right. A little different look as it would be. We're going to throw it on exciting here. We're going to see drivers. Oh, Big Art off track here is going to allow Strickland to carry the corner. Striker on the road course iRating 3301, 50-40 for Nathan Big Art. So the drivers putting in the energy for the road series. Kobler back here, 42.58 on the road series rating. Striker catches up to Big Art, who makes a mistake. And fast lap goes to Strickland, 1:30.29. And stage is going to go to lap 10. We'll make sure that we keep track of all of that. We'll see who's doing what at what point when the top 10 cross the start-finish line. Adam Dama right now in that 10th spot as Clint Hackett right behind him. Hackett working the outside lane is going to take that spot away, but any set of circumstances could be that way. Hammond, is John out of the race? I think he had to start. He might have had to work, so he had to start the race just to get the points. Hopefully he can. As good as you can. He'll be back soon. That's awesome, brother. I hope to see it. I hope to see you out there getting some love and putting the racetrack on its knees. That's for darn sure. Matt is going to be in third here. Mark Retchen in tow. Derek Wegman not far behind. Bryce Kobler is going to be in sixth here. Try to work that race line a little bit further. Tony Sanders back at seventh as Bronc Duty behind him. The 9 in eighth up 7 spots is your biggest move of the race. Brad Dove off 1, still trying to work his way forward. Little right rear damage, and hopefully would uncheck that fast repair. I think he's fine. I think he's going to be able to get a little bit faster each lap, and as the drivers figure out the braking zones and get the practice. A lot of drivers haven't even driven to this track, and they got it just for this purpose and this reason. So right now Strickland closing into the distance here has a little bit of an advantage over Nathan Bigart here, and is really put in. How about we give a shout out to the race controller? It's going to be OTR Penguin, is Vegas Penguin, however you want to call him. He is former over-the-road trucker, is out there working hard for his money, and is also out there keeping an eye on these drivers to make sure that they take care of each other and take care of their race line. And right now, Strickland loses a little bit of ground as the 01 gets those tire touches out. And Strickland better in some zones, it seems, but Strickland having to watch the corner exit and not try to overdrive the car. Right now, Big Art out front, 3/4 of a second. Hold on, exciting to see what the drivers are doing out here. 4 of 35. Will be a fast race. It will be an absolute, an easy going race for the most part. Other than that contact we saw there should be too big of an issue. Tony Sanders had an off track just a moment ago, as we'll see. You'll see on the track map that 7's coming down that chute, and I haven't changed any cameras to show you guys the elevation changes on this one. We'll have to take a look and see. 0.8 of a second lead for Nathan Bigart as Strickland rolls in second. Tony Sanders around. Turn 6. All right, I'm having to count the turns. Turn 6, turn 7 is the left-hander. Turn 8 and turn 9 are coming up right up here. No, that's it's interesting to see this one. 9 turns across the racing surface, and we go on board with Tony Sanders here and watch the elevation changes on this entire track. But around this is the final turn onto the front straightaway. Left side tires out to the outside. Front straightaway through the gears they go. Let's put up the dashboard for you. Turn 1, sharp right-hander here. Gonna float out downhill. You hear the car dragging there. Turn 2 is gonna be the right-hander here. This is the hairpin turn that I was talking about. Left-hander coming up turn 3. Different lines, braking zones, apexing the corner. Put himself all the way out. Turn 4 coming up. I mean, we're talking about drivers just having to execute turns. There's turn 4, turn 5. The right-hander coming up here as we look at the downhill section. This is that elevation change I was talking about. If the car bottoms out a little bit, gets up into the braking zone, it makes the right-hander here all the way out. Turn 6, right here. Little downhill short chute. You hear him bottoming out. Third gear. Turn 7, another right-hander right here. Almost like an inverted bus stop, but a little bit longer. Turn 8 is going to be the left-hander here. And turn 9 is going to be a right-hander coming up here to take you back to the front straightaway. Tony Sanders doing a great job. Fastest lap of the race. It's Big Art. Still 0.8 of a second lead. 129.56 for the driver. As he and Stryker still hold close to each other. Kobler in third has pushed his way forward. We'll see if he's going to be able to catch the top 2. Restfully about 11 and a half seconds to roll the corner. Matt is going to be in fourth here. Wegman up 1. Mark Retchen losing a little bit of ground. We'll see if this one's going to be a change in the dynamic. If he's not going to be pushing hard, he's got the Lucky Charms on today, and I do like that. I think it's him. Mr. Church, much love to you, man. He says like, follow, share. I'm glad to see you out there. I appreciate you, of course. Battle wax for the drivers. Here is the top 10. Mark Russian sitting in 6th here. I appreciate you very much. 1.6 second difference here. Something happened to Stryker. I wonder if he was backing off the corner to slide the corner here. Kobler gets around. Matta went around. Wegman way outside here. A little off-track action there. Oh, they're getting into each other. Matta, Wegman, Mark Retchen. Mark Retchen just trying to stay out of the hair there. Some on-track content happening. Good look at what they were trying to do getting in the corner here. Got into that was a bad angle. Let me go to the far chase. There it is, right here. 16 had the corner. Oh, the 99 locks up the tires there, and maybe on a downshift and gets into the 16. So that one's on the 39. That's not on anything Matta did wrong. He had the inside lane there. We'll see the 16. Carrying the corner. 39 to the big outside here again. That's turn number 2. That is that horseshoe area that you see on the racing surface. Retchen is getting a little bit faster. Top 5 night for him, goes a long way. 1.8 second difference here from Big Art as Kobler goes up in a 3rd spot. We'll see what the stage is going to do. Brad Dove off track here is going to be up into the sand pit right there around the horseshoe area. Turn 2, that one's being a little bit dicey for some of the drivers and getting into the corners and try to make the turn. Beautiful look about the overhead view. There's a look at where these drivers are going to be kind of putting their energy in. Big Art right there. All ties are a lap down. I'm going to get last place points for tonight's race. Speaking of points, I do need to make sure I get those up in front of you folks because they're important. They're important for the series. Important for all the drivers. Important for, for me to keep track of what these fine folks are doing. Because, well, let's face it, buddy, just doing a pretty bang-up job of just being awesome, right? All right, let's bring up points, browse, this one, open up. Yep, it's going to be there. I'll be there. There it is. Big Art is going to be your current points leader. 6 wins, 6 stage wins. Stryker has 2 wins in the series. Matt is going to have a win. Kobe Hartung a win as well. John Hammond 5th in the point standings. Has 3 stage wins, but needs a good. He needs a win. I'm just saying. This day with a win. Caffrey with a win, stage win as well. And if the playoffs were to begin tomorrow, Danny May right there on the cutoff line. What's some track facts? This track is it's big, and I don't know anything about it. Oh, I do. That's we went over it earlier. The Summer Paralympics were ran here at Brands Hatch, and it was based on road cycling events in 2012. Riders raced around the course that starts at and starts and finishes at Brands Hatch and encompasses both the circuit and local roads surrounding it. Notably, the men's H4 time trial and the road race were won here by Italy's Alex Zanardi, a racing driver who had extensive experience as a driver at the track. Zanardi first drove Brands Hatch in 1991 in the Formula 3000 series and had last driven the track in the World Touring Car Championship in 2009. 8 years after losing both legs in a near-fatal 2001 racing accident during a kart FedEx Championship Series race in Germany. NASCAR has never run here, so other than the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. So that's the Whelen Modifieds. The NASCAR Series, what you would see the NASCAR Cup Series, has never ran here at this racetrack. There's your points. Let me get rid of this. You guys can see that's what your points are looking at right there. So there's some track facts for you. Big Art just ran his fastest lap of the race last time by. Coming around complete lap 9, 1:29.46 on the drivers. And I think Stryker's just settling in, maybe thinking I'm just going to finish second. Kobler just ran his fastest lap of the race, still 15 and a half seconds back, almost 16 seconds back from your race leader, 11 and some change back. Stryker has dropped 4 seconds off of Big Art here. And maybe, I don't know if anybody's thinking about fuel. I don't know if anybody's thinking about some things happening. It's curious. Mark Retch got himself around Brock Duty, and now he is trying to track down Michael Mata. Mata right there, that 16 back where he started. Retchen off 3, started outside pole, had some blistering fast laps, and now he's going to have to try to put the energy in. Tony Sanders coming around. He is playing catch up, so we're seeing a few drivers play catch up to each other here as they come around. Now, fast laps, they are some pretty fast lap times. It's not like what you see. You know, you can see 113s and 112s out of Watkins Glen, which is just over 2.25 miles. We'll see that track tomorrow in the trucks. We won't see the cup lap times there, but we'll see some pretty fast lap times for the trucks. But what you see out of these cars is pretty much Brands Hatch showing up. It's a track, and this will probably be the only time I ever call it. And it's probably the only time I'll ever use the track, but I now own it. That is the way it is. Got a driver cam to put up, so bear with me. Buddy, switch the camera around. We appreciate. There it is. Should pop up any moment. There it is. There it is for you folks. I appreciate the driver cams. I really do. They make all the difference. They make all the difference for the drivers. And if you've got people out there watching, they can see it. January, what's up, Miss Weber? How are you doing? Good to see you out there. It's strictly on the biggest take of what you see. Appreciate it. So right now, that's where we're at. That's what we're looking at. Thank you to a couple of driver cams we got going on here. Got me in the World of Outlaws Knoxville playing 64 entries, getting ready for nationals. Heck yeah, I'm a fan of dirt. I mean, I'm a fan of road course racing, but I'm a fan of road course racing in moderation. I like NASCAR. I like the oval circuit. I like the NASCAR-esque stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like Adam here. I'm a student driver when it comes to the Road Series racing. I love to watch. I love to be there live, you know, because in the festivities and everything, kind of make it happen. I enjoy Watkins Glen. COTA is a spectacle, but I'm not a fan of the Circuit of the Americas here in Texas. You know, you can shoot me. You can shoot the messenger on that one. It's fine. But just know that I like Sonoma. I thought Sonoma this past week was a great race, regardless of who won or whatever happened. I think it's a great racetrack. I do like Canadian Tire. I think that's a great race course as well. I guess I'm just pretty standard when it comes to my Road Series racing. Whenever I saw Brands Hatch on here, I was like, "What's this track?" So, I'm a race fan at heart, but I will say that I'm not a guy that wants to push the envelope. I do call Le Mans. I love Le Mans. I like the 24-hour Le Mans that's coming up. I like the Rolex Daytona 24. I like there are road courses that I like, but I'm very select and I like special events. I like Sebring. I like there's a few racetracks out there that I do appreciate. Kobler getting faster. Matt is going to be in 4th. Mark Retchen's going to be in 5th. This track reminds you of the back roads of New England, curves included. Yeah, I believe it. This isn't New England. This is England. That's where this is at. Which we can appreciate. How about we show some logos up here? See if we've got. We'll get rid of that track map for a little bit. As we've already gone through the stage with 24 laps to go here. It'll be Bigard, Strickland, Kobler, Mata, and Retchen, your top 5 of the stage. Duty, Wegman, Sanders, Roberge, and Clint Hackett, your top 10. No positions have changed in all of that. Brad Dove back in 12th is the last position change. That was lap 10, but that does not pay any points, as we'll see Drivers working on a 5 1/4 second between Big Art and Strickland. Strickland trying to work. Kobler getting a little bit faster each lap. I think he is just trying to test the circuit. These cars are through the short gears, and I think that's what I'm seeing here. I'm not seeing really. We'll follow along with the race leader here for just a moment. Let me throw those logos back up. Stay tuned. Sports is your pole sitter award here, folks. And again, like I said, I was bass backwards here. Issue right here from Dove and Dama. Dove break. Oh, he overshot the corner, and I think Adam was trying to watch what was going on there, and then he gets turned around there. He's fine. He's fine. Car's fine. He's good. Let's go along with Nathan Bigart. Throw the battle box up for you. Not battle box, the dashboard up for you. And we'll see what his gear ratio is going to be looking like. This is great. It's a good looking track. I'm sure the drivers are out there having a good time. You throw a road course up, and it's kind of in when it comes to the NASCAR stuff, it's kind of in Nathan's wheelhouse. So I know he's looking for another win on the series to cap it off. He's got 8 wins in the Truck Series, 6 wins so far here in the Cup Series, and he's pretty much the guy that's if they come out each week, he's the guy that they're trying to beat. Strickland, he's right there as well. He's good at road courses, and I'm seeing everybody who puts in the energy here. They're doing a really good job of just maintaining the pace and maintaining what they're doing. But I'm not even seeing. I think they've only got 4 gears on this ratio. I'm not seeing a 5th gear hit. There's Nate. He's the first driver I've seen hit 5th gear. Strickland through the corner. He's going to be closing it as well. We'll see what his braking zone and the closing sectors to Striker. Striker can see him, and I think that's the one thing that might be the hardest time. Raji, thank you for the like out there as well. Much love to you. How about the idea behind Martin Truex Jr. is absolutely on the stint of retirement. Strickland getting a little faster now. I really don't think tires are a big deal. Fuel's going to be the only thing that I would think is going to be maybe an issue for any one of the drivers when it comes to the fuel mileage. They might be able to run this thing end to end. And, that's part of the segment of what you see. Thank you to everybody who is out there giving us all the love and attention. Much love to you. Appreciate all the likes. I appreciate. I think I know. I think I know who January is. Is that the January that's local? Local to the Lake of the Ozarks. If not, now I know 2 January Webbers. I appreciate it. Really do. EJ, thank you very much. Get everybody out there. All right, the weight of the world. I could get a little faster each lap. Nate, a little lap traffic in front of him. That was Clint Hackett there. Clint, that's who that driver is. 3 seconds gained. Good to see everybody put the time in. I appreciate it. Really do. Budgie, do you have a favorite racetrack? I know you've been liking dirt lately. Not yet, you don't? We'll find you one. I'm going to take you to a racetrack. Maybe that's what Jess and I come up and do. We'll come over to you and take you out to a racetrack. Mark Retchin on the pounds here to Michael Matta. I was looking at relatives here to see who's got a little gap between each other. One of the other drivers that I was seeing here, Tony Sanders, he's closing in to Derek Wegman. Roberge just ran his fastest lap of the race. He's up to 9th so far. Up 3 spots. Brock Duty in the 9 car up 9 spots. Let's go, Mark, says Dan. I tell you what, he might have fallen back here on the start of the race. He puts that down a good qualifying lap. I think he just rolls. I think that's what I like about our good friend. Oh, Adam had to jump to pit road. He's getting that toe in, so he's going to be good. Derek Wegman had an issue. He crashed on lap 16. Oop. The tires into the outside braking zone. Looped it around. When you see another car, it just kind of off track again. When you see when you see another car get off the racing surface, it can throw you for a loop. Josh Siegfried up into the up. Oh, hold on to it, Josh. Oh. Hold on to the light. We're in a quarter second. Big Art having to maintain a gap here. 5 minutes of Perry. Forgot to uncheck the fast period when you pitted. Oh no. That's not bad. 5 minutes. You still got a chance. You want to run Laguna Seca? Not a fan of that track either. But everybody has their flavor. 128.94. Big Art picking up the pace, but Stryker's picking up the pace right behind him. He's not lost all that much when it comes to the ground that he's doing. One of the things I want to showcase to you folks, you go on board the cars here. Look at that rear brake. That brake is a glowing. Clears up, cools off. Look at that. That thing is, if iRacing had sparks for the brake calipers, you would see them. That's what's happening right now. That's exactly what you're seeing. A lot of rear brake dialed into this car. Some front brake, but that's pretty much how you see it. Reverse closing in. Just want to lap down to Big Art as Strickland's going to be in tow. Nate tried to extend once again to keep that 4-second gap. Those brakes they're cooked. The only thing that I haven't seen in iRacing right now is that that they have not have any mechanical brake failures. I think that they should add that. I know that if you burn your tires down, you can get yourself you get a meatball flag, or you basically quote unquote blow a tire. I think that if you're in a sector like this and you abuse your brakes, I think the brakes should have a wear limit as well. I think that should be a thing. I have ideas, you know. Chop Shop Cup Series is presented by Chopp'N Podcast. If you haven't checked out Chopp'N Podcast, they do have some old episodes out there on YouTube, also on Spotify. Make sure you go check them out. YouTube.com/@ChopShop_TV. They're getting ready to have some more. I know that Ryan the Eagle has taken some time off from doing the podcast and taking a break, getting his life right with Jesus, and doing the things that he needs to do. Well, I like it. I like what he's got. I like the approach of life he's got. So he's taking a break. He'll be back here shortly, and we'll be looking to happen. How about it, Stryker trying to close back down to Big Art? Attic coming to pit road. We'll see if tires actually play a factor here, because we're seeing 129.6s right now. I'm not seeing tires be a thing. If fuel's the only concern with 16 laps to go, that would be the one situation that might be all the way out to the grass. Big Art is he's getting to the point of almost pushing it too hard here. He does it because you get those tires too far out in that grass, he's going around. Right now, he is losing some ground to Strickland as Strickland closes in. He might have had to give up some time there. I'm not quite sure how that one would work on that sector. Kobler to Mark Retchen. Retchen's going to be in fourth. He was trying to hold off Michael Matta. Matta comes in for fuel only, so I think tires are not even a thought right now. The tires do cool down when you're on pit road, going at the slower speed. So we'll see if that's going to be a segment here. There is the 12 of Grant Altizer in front of your race leader, Nathan Bigart. Bigart to the inside is going to take the downhill stretch. And they'll be side by side. Altizer will break a little earlier here. In braking zone for Bigart, it's going to be a little bit better. Stryker can just be patient. Be able to work up here, get himself around. A little lap traffic never hurt any driver. See the outstretch be what it is. Whoa, cuts the course there a little bit. As Stryker meets Dama in the wrong spot, it's going to lose a half second right there. Not Dama, he met Altizer, not Dama. Dama's on pit road getting this thing. He got everything fixed, so he's coming back to pit road. Yeah. Get it at him. You can still make up some time. 4.5, the gap between Bigart. Kobler is going to be in third. 27, almost 28 seconds back. Mark Retchen just ran his fastest lap of the race, 4 seconds faster than Bryce this last time by, 1:30.65. So maybe my Jefferson City neighbor start catching him. He's got time. Last lap from Bigart, 1:29.70. Clint Hackett having an issue right here on 21. I mean, that's the kind of self-spin that I want. Nobody's around me. Everybody's good. And away it goes. All right. That's the 85, the 25. They're going at it here. Little battle with Matta behind. Brad Dove trying to defend the position over 85 of Joshua Siegfried. Drivers are going to be a couple of laps down, as we'll see. Yeah. All right, a lap down, not a couple of laps down. They're only a lap down. But Matta is the last driver to lead lap 118. About half the track difference, or I'm sorry, about 10 seconds the difference between Big Art and Matta right now, closing it in. 14 is what I'm showing on my relative here. So Matta gets around, starts to push a little bit further here. A lot of time to spend on pit road. Even for a 5-second fuel stop, you still spend, 30 seconds. And when you have to deal with trying to get around a little bit of lap traffic, you kind of have to push yourself. I think Stryker might try to save a little bit here. Might be able to get himself to that point. Kobler, 137.11, his last lap. Gretchen has started to close in, 130.95. Clint Hackett in front of him, so Gretchen actually closing into third. Did a pretty good job of trying to maintain that as well. But the hills are alive with the sound of NASCAR. That's pretty much what we've got going on here. The 01 out front by 5.6 seconds. Brad Dove and Joshua Siegfried in front of Nathan Bigart. Bigart into that big downhill section I was talking about earlier. Such huge elevation changes happening. Incredible to witness. But right now, one thing you don't want to see out of the two in front of them. See him beating and banging. You want to see him get around and try to make it as clean as possible. Throw up your track map once again so you guys can see what's happening on the racetrack. Track your driver. .25 is the 01 to the inside. 85 gives way to the 01. Now Brad Dove will have to try to follow suit here. Not far off. There's Michael Strickland. Third finish line's right about here. Now you saw the start finish line. It's way back here, but these things happen. 25 and the 85. Brad Dove try to hold off the 85 there. And I'll take a look at that pass real quick. 01 on the inside. 25 was setting up the braking zone here. Carried back in, and 85 just... Well, I was trying to watch this pass set up. 25 a little free, 85 shoots to the inside. Well, let's see if Brad Dove can get that spot back. It's the closest battle we have right now on the racetrack. That's what happens with these races. They tend to just get stretched out. 133.57 last lap. Big Art still running in the under 130s. It's the 12. Lets the 12 go by. Strickland, 5 second the gap. Trying to get around the 25 here. Try to shoot the inside. Coming around the front straightaway, we're going to be 8 laps to go, or 9 laps to go. Stryker clears. He has got to. I think Stryker has to get around this lap traffic cleanly, and he actually has to start pushing. Joshua Siegfried off the racing surface as Brad Double get back around. Have to see what happened there to cause that. I think he just hit the braking zone a little different. 85 will have to go back to work. Again, closest battle on the racetrack. That's the battle for 10th. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Going to be a very good time. Maddox concedes the lap. Tony Sanders coming to pit road. He's going to be in 7th. Nathan Bigart's going to be out front. Again, fuel's the only concern that I have. A pit stop was something. Church Track Facts could be a new segment in the telecast. I've just called so many races that there's just so many things to know. I mean, I think that's why I like whenever you're in the broadcast, when you are in the broadcast booth with me on Saturdays and you talk about your track facts. It's because it's something that you get to learn about and know, and which is cool. It's a segment just for you. You know what I mean? 5 drivers on the lead lap. Brock Duty's going to be the last driver that Big Art's going to be trying to push. 7 seconds the gap now as Strickland has been trying to get around the lap traffic as cleanly as possible. Going to have Matta in front of him and might be trying to settle for second. Big Art's back to his winning ways. That's what it's supposed to be about there, Churchy. It's a good thing. We have a tendency to these kinds of races right here where it gets really spread. Oh, off the surface, Big Art, but not at a right segment here because Strickland cannot capitalize with Matta in front of him. Man, lost 3 seconds on that lap right there. Stryker needs to pounce if he wants this, because Big Art has made a couple of mistakes. Stryker's been off track a couple of times, but Nathan has lost gaps to what Strickland's to Strickland on this racetrack. So it's going to take a mistake, because now the 88 gets around the 16. It's got to start being in position to capitalize on those mistakes. 7 laps to go. That would be a better race than what we're seeing right now when it comes to being as spread out as it is. And I think that's one of the things that I see. We're having a search for. I love road course racing, but it gets so spread out right here that in the NASCAR circuit, a lot of drivers don't like to get out there and run it, and it makes it a little. Sometimes it makes it a little tough to call the races. Not that I don't enjoy it. It's just sometimes it gets tough. It gets tough for that reason right there. I think Big Art can just maintain. If he just maintains his laps, he'll be fine. Yeah, 2 second difference on the lap times between Strickland and Big Art that last time by. Brock Duty coming to pit road. Maybe thinking about fuel. We'll see. Racing's a little bit closer at some of the smaller road courses. This is not a big road course. There's a lot of short chutes, and it's a tough track to drive. What it is. 6 laps to go this time by. Yeah, I see the tires locking up. I saw the right side of that turn right there for Big Art. He had to crank that wheel. He was having in the brakes. The car was sliding forward. Strickland sits in second here, and I think he's literally just maintaining. Right now behind him, he's going to have, who's that? Bryce Kobler coming to pit road here in the pit limit sign hit right there. Bigard's last lap, 129.40, so he's picked up that pace once again, a second faster than Strickland that last lap. So Stryker not hitting the zone where he needs to. Duty came in, got himself taken care of. Tires and fuel for Kobler, who's in fourth. Brock Duty a lap down, trying to close in. Kobler has ran the tires off of it, so he picks the set. And going to have 6 laps to be able to abuse those tires. We'll see if he can catch the 14 seconds between he and Mark Retchen. Retchen's last lap, 1:30.88. Strickland still trying to close in. 5 laps to go. Battle for the lead. Stretching. Adam Dama is going to be the next driver that we're seeing. Nathan Bigard trying to close back into Grant Altizer. Drops the course. Dama concedes the line to the 01. Doing a great job. Another lap down. Altizer, the driver that Dama's tracking down. He's got about 20 seconds, but he is catching him. Got time. 5 laps. Not impossible. We're around the 6 seconds. There's a couple of times that I thought Big Art was going to be losing it. Got to drive that thing off edge. Come on, Adam. Don't touch the grass. You're good, brother. Don't touch the grass. Don't touch the dirt. Drive your speed. Four to go this time by. As Big Art comes to pit road, Stryker needs to lead a lap. He's going to go ahead and do so as Big Art gives up the race lead. So that's going to be a lap led for Strickland. Mark Retchen coming around as well. Pulling third. A 17, almost 18-second gap between he and Bryce Kobler behind him. We'll see how that's going to work for him. Top 5 night for him. Still got about a day. Brock Duty, 10 laps down. Or sorry, 10 laps down. Up 10 spots. He's a lap down. Let me speak correctly here. Stryker is the driver he would be trying to track down. Big Art does come out in second. Again, fuel only, and you don't need much. He only needs enough to hit 4 laps. So that's literally a couple of gallons. Things burned gas like crazy. 12-second difference between Strickland and Big Art. 25 seconds on pit road. It's a very short pit road here. That's one of the things I did want to attest to. It's a very short pit road. Mark Retchen coming to pit road right now. That is a very, very short pit road. As Kobler goes around Mark Retchen, who pitted for fuel. Kobler to Retchen. Stryker coming to pit road now. Has to get down. And we'll have to short shoot it down. It's a bumpy pit road, too. Big Art. Strickland will leave. Big Art. So a lead change, lap led for Strickland. Adam Dama having an issue. No, Adam. Hold on to your button. Strickland to get around. Roll the outside. Now 7.5 seconds for the 01. The Strickland leads the lap. That's a good thing. Retchen trying to close back into Kobler here. As Kobler will sit in third. Mark had that by a pretty commanding commanding race line. We'll see if he's going to be able to catch him. Gretchen is right there. He's not far off. 3 laps to go. He could make up some of that time. 1:31.20 is Kobler's last lap. Gretchen's been running 1:30s. We'll see if that's going to be a battle for third. Big Art rolling. Matt is going to be in 6th. He is on the lead lap now. He has the 01 right there with him. Roberge up to 7th, up 5 spots. Matta right behind the 01. Now it goes back down a lap. There's Tony Sanders behind. He is the lap. He's going to be 2 laps down. He's rolling. Going to be 2 to go here with Nathan Big Art putting on a clinic once again. At a certain point, you got to start rooting against him. But I won't. He's just fast. He's tough to beat. That's what you're going to hear strikers say. He's just fast. He's tough to beat. Needed him to make a mistake. Kobler in 3rd. 2 3/4 second with 2 to go. Gretchen does have an opportunity here. Kobler does have newer tires, but if we've learned anything with the Next Gen Cup car and road courses, tires don't matter. Hold on to it, Mark. A little off track there, no big deal. That's your closest battle that you have for position. Everybody else, too far gone. So Mark will be 2 to go. They are on the lead lap, so their battle's going to last the next full 2 laps here. Big Art lets the 9 of duty go. He is rolling. Striker trying to get to the inside. Strickland's just hitting the lap traffic at the worst possible time. Be able to make any gains, but it might be too little too gone right now, so might just settle for that 2nd spot. White flag waves, final lap. As Big Art runs the fastest lap of the race, just this time by 1:28.89. As, again, the closest battle on the racetrack for 3rd, Kobler and Gretchen. Putting it in. Gretchen and Kobler still have to complete their white flag lap. They're not done yet. Duty 128. Try to stay on the lead lap here. If Nate's smart, he just lets him complete his lap. Go around a drive. I'll try to push it here. Guy is a lap down to you. 10-second lead. That's pretty substantial. As Tony Sanders is there. Matta behind. Sanders to 8th, of course. Big Art will come around. Take it easy. He's gonna win. Frank will be 2nd, coming around the corner here as well. Bryce Kobler will hold off Mark Gretchen. Actually, I can't say that. Yeah, they're not done. They still have a little bit of a race down the short chute, or down the long hill chute. Is Mark Gretchen? He could just send these last couple of corners here. Mark ran his fastest lap of the race last time by. He's a half second faster than Kobler. Just needs a little bit more out of it. 2.6 second difference down to 2.3. Gretchen out of the corner, sliding the corner. Final couple of corners. Brad Dove off track in the background there. Mark trying to push as hard as he can here to close it in. Looks like Bryce Kobler, though, is going to come around, and he's going to finish a minute 3 seconds behind Nathan Big Art. Mark Retchen will finish 4th. Duty will come around. He'll be the last driver to. Ian Brad Dell will be the last 2 drivers to complete the race circuit here. That's the race. It's pretty pedestrian. That'll be it. Race results coming up at you. The 01's going to be your winner. Big Art, Strickland, Kobler. That's going to be your top 3. Mark Retchen, Rock Duty, Matta, Roberge, Sanders, Hackett, Joshua Siegfried, your top 10. Dove, Altizer, Dama, Wegman, John Hammond will be the final. John didn't start the race, but he was out there running. ChopShopRacing.net if you want to be a part of this series. I hope we run a different road course next time. Not going to complain. No, these guys did. All right. Waiting for Nate. Nate, you whooped him again. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a tough one, man. I'm sweating really bad. It was it's a tough track. Definitely put in a lot of practice this week to get ready for this, and I think that's what showed. In the end, I weren't gonna be able to get this win without the practice I put in because Stryker was fast, and it was basically who was gonna make more mistakes between the 2 of us. So, hats off to everybody for coming out tonight, and thanks for racing. I had a great time.
This one, you made a lot of mistakes. You lost a couple of seconds there a couple of times when it came to overshooting the corner, driving too deep into a corner, which can be easy to do. But, I mean, with the amount of gear changes that we saw out of the car today, didn't seem like track position was going to be the biggest key in getting through lap traffic the cleanest. And I think that's one of the downfalls that I saw behind you. But the mistakes that we saw, you're able to capitalize and keep it moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I called it last week at the end of the broadcast there. In a sense, qualifying was going to dictate this race. I wanted the pole because passing was going to be difficult, especially if you're close on speed. I mean, it's hard enough to pass cars that are lap down way, with a big difference in lap time. So happy to get the pole, happy to keep it up front the whole race. And just, that was the game plan from the start, and it worked out.
7 wins on the season. We'll go to, I don't even know where we're at next week. I didn't even look.
Bristol, I think he said.
Look. Yeah, we're going to be at Bristol next week, then Dover after that. All right, man, give a shout out. You get a 7th victory on the season.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the Chop Shop guys themselves. Speedy Trophy. I mean, sorry. The Chop Shop podcast for sponsoring this series, all the admins at the Chop Shop crew helping us come out here and have a great time, all the drivers for showing up tonight. I know it's it's a paid track and it's not one that's usual for oval racers, so appreciate them showing up and coming out having fun with us. Hats off to Stryker for the P2, man. He was fast. It was not an easy win by any means. And shout out to you, Jason, Signature Esports, doing a broadcast. Appreciate everything you do for us here at the Chop Shop crew. And all the fans watching, and number 1 fan, love you, Mom.
Nathan Big Art is your race winner. Stryker's going to be 2nd. Let's talk to Strickland real quick. Lap traffic didn't help you. That was one of the biggest things I saw. Your consistency was there. A lot of mistakes for the driver in front of you. You had a few off tracks, but nothing major from what we saw. Walk me through it.
No, I mean, I don't want to take anything. I mean, it was difficult. It's this track. I think it's a motorcycle track, so was kind of a one-off that we wanted to do. We like to change road courses occasionally, year in and year out, and Brands Hatch was the one that we decided to go with this season. It was definitely difficult. Elevation changes, hard braking zones. Not very. It's not very wide at all. So if you have lap cars that take that preferred lane, you're going to lose on whoever you're chasing. I don't think that was the end all. I mean, Nate was just Nate, and he was just a rocket ship all day. I think I could hold pace with him a little bit. But I mean, he had a couple of tenths on me every single lap, and then he could replicate it where I would struggle. So, but congrats to Nate. It was difficult. It wasn't easy by any means. I mean, it was definitely a battle. I'm sweating up a storm, but it was fun. I mean, that's what we're here for, is just to have some fun, and we can kind of cross off Brands Hatch out of our to-do list, and let's see when we come back.
Give your shout outs. You two finish.
Appreciate that. We just want to make sure that we give shout outs to all of our sponsors. Generally, I take my time to make sure that I give these sponsors the dues that they deserve. The Baller Status Boys that always help us. That's an internal group that kind of our Patreon group. We love them. Track Racer, My Three Sons with Sherry, C2 Gaming. Who am I missing out here? Admin Box, Signature, Esports with the broadcasting. Speedy Trophies, Geomax, Virtual Velocity Racing, MCI Graphics Paint, Stay Tuned Sports, our podcast, Pole Award podcast, as well as our sponsor for our Pole Award. A couple new sponsors, Adrenaline Sign and Wraps, that we're going to be getting, Klosterman Engraving and Design, and with our newest one, Premier Racing Setups. We've just got a sponsorship with them as well. But we want to thank everybody who was out here watching us. I know some of these road courses can be monotonous and a little bit boring, especially no cautions. But we appreciate you coming out here, checking us out. Thank you very much. Any friends or family members that are out there, appreciate you rooting us on. Special shout out to Brian Rayburn. I know he was out there watching. We want you back, buddy, so come on back.
Yeah, Rayburn was out there chatting everybody up. That was good to see him out there. Haven't heard or talked to him in a hot minute.
Yeah, Brian Rayburn, we miss you, buddy. So come on back. We appreciate you, and of course, Signature Esports. Jason, appreciate the broadcast. As you know, he didn't. I don't think you own this track today, so you have to make additional purchases just to broadcast with us. That's what we appreciate from you. You go the extra mile, and I'm sure it looks awesome. Thanks again. If you haven't already, subscribe to Signature Esports on Facebook or YouTube, Twitch, and I mean you're on multiple platforms. YouTube, yeah.
7 now, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
I think we're going to be dropping down to 2, though. I think stepping away from Facebook, and because our views are coming from YouTube. That's
YouTube.
That's, YouTube and Twitch. I think that'll be the next step. But that's something I'm going to work towards here.
I just saw your post that says thank you for your feet views.
Yeah, I said yeah. We're not doing that. That's not a thing.
This is not Feet Finder here, man. All right.
That's not a thing. Like show me your face. We've had up shorts, we've seen dirty socks, we're good. We're good. No feet finder here for me.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for the broadcast. I know it was these are excruciating at times, but we'll put on a better show next week. Broadcast will be good. I mean,
it's Bristol. It's Bristol, so it's Bristol's just Bristol. Bristol's fun. I don't care if there's 10,000 cautions. Bristol's still fun. This one's a different track. It's not hard. I'll tell you that it's not hard to call. It's boring.
It's not boring when you're driving because you're on edge.
Oh yeah, no. I know.
Crazy.
I saw the braking zones. I saw the gear change. I saw what the brakes were doing. I think I might. Hopefully I didn't.
It's difficult.
But I as far as the drivers go and as far as the track goes, I'm sure it was a ton of fun to drive.
It's a road course. That's how they are. And there's these smaller fields. I mean, today this isn't prototypical of a chop shop. We have tons of big fields. It's just that a lot of these guys had to buy this track today, and they chose not to because why? They're probably going to race here once and never race again. So it's kind of a one-off. I mean, we had fun. The guys that showed up. I do appreciate the guys that did show up. Thank you very much. Special thank you to those guys, and congrats to everybody that managed to make it to the end.
Did John have to start and stop? I think that was my only other question.
You're not going to believe what he did. He said he was in the pits and he left his throttle stuck, stepped away, something along those lines, came back, the car was blown.
Oh no.
When the race started. Yeah. So he blew the car in the pits under I guess when we were qualifying. Something along those lines. But
Oh, yeah.
Luckily for him, he only laid down a couple of laps anyways, so he didn't practice too much.
Well, I mean, 15th out of 15 cars that's still good. That
Yeah,
should hurt
he'll
him too bad.
manage.
All right, man. Be good. We'll chat
Later,
with you
guys.
later.
Hey, happy Father's Day weekend to all
Oh
the
yeah,
fathers out there. Happy
I,
Father's Day, Jason.
I keep forgetting to say that too. Much love, man.
Later, guys.
Happy Father's Day to Bryce, not to Bryce, to Striker as well. Bryce Kobler's going to be your P3 finisher tonight. Closest battle we had on the racetrack was third with Bryce and Mark Retch, and knowing that I think the little bit of that newer tire kind of helped you out there toward the end.
Yeah, I feel like it did. That I can't feel the front of these cars for some reason, so I gotta fix something with that. But I was a little bit nervous towards the end because looking at it, I was like, he's gaining. And he kept gaining, and kept gaining, and he kept gaining, and I was like, oh crap! And I knew I had to pit, and I took a little bit more fuel just to try to keep the rear end of the car down. And then when I came out of pit road, I almost spun like 3 times because the track was over 100 degrees, and these cars are so dang slick at this. And luckily, I got them heated up, and I knew I just had to drive a little bit safe, but a little bit hard at the same time to at least keep myself in front of them. But it definitely was a good battle there at the end. This is definitely a taxing track. I'm not great at road courses at all by any means, so this was something that I definitely had to work hard at. I do it completely raw. I have sequential, and I'm shifting the whole entire race, and there was sweat all over my back, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. It was definitely a hard race to deal with.
But Nate said too. He said that, and I watched you guys go through the zones. I mean, if I look at, it's not a very big track. I know that a lot of if I sit here and say, oh, it's a 2.4 mile length track, people think of the 2.5 mile track at Daytona and Talladega in 2.6 miles. But if you think about that track, how big it is, but if you cut it up into sections and put a lot of braking zones into it, I mean, it's only 9 turns, but you guys are on the brake just as much as you're on the throttle.
Yeah, and I kind of had to change the brakes getting in here too because I kept doing practice and I kept spinning out, and I was like, I gotta do something. So I ended up putting more brake bias towards the front, which probably was half the reason I couldn't feel the front. I didn't have so much braking in the rear, but it's a lot of braking. And like if you miss, I missed my shifting zone once, and I went in the gravel. If you miss your braking zone by like 10 feet, you're going in the gravel. If you miss your shifting zone, you're going to blow the whole corner because the engine braking is ridiculous. I mean, you have to be pretty much exactly perfect in every zone, or you're going straight in the gravel with nothing you can do pretty much. And it's just I love road courses in real life, even though I'm horrible at them on this, because it's fun to watch throw these cars that are 3,000 pounds around the track that don't want to turn at all. It's just fun to watch that, and I just love the shifting part of it. It's just, to me, that's just pure skill overall, and anybody that can drive road courses has my respect.
I like road course racing. Of course, I'm a bigger fan of the NASCAR, the dirt side of things, and SRX stuff. I like the WRX stuff, and which is dirt road and rallycross and stuff like that. For those who are out there wanting to know what that is, I like GT3s and IMSA style racing as well. Of course, I will never not tune into the Indy 500 for as far as open wheel stuff. But that's another oval. But when it comes to calling road courses, there's give and take when it comes to the track and when it comes to the drivers. When it comes to throwing something unique out there, this was unique. I'll say it was unique. I don't think it produced the race that I think anybody was used to when it comes to road courses, because it's almost like, surprise, here it is.
Yeah, especially this not being like Sonoma or Watkins Glen. I think I'd be better at those tracks. And I think the last time I ever raced this track was like when I was, God, I'm 21, and I think it was like when I was like maybe 13 or 12 or maybe even 10 when I raced it on Real Racing 3 on my iPhone. So I had some memory of this track, so I knew a little bit of it. But like going at a track that NASCAR's never been on is definitely a hard thing to do, because I had to learn it pretty quickly. Even though I did practice it, I'd say a decent amount. I was like, I have absolutely no idea where these braking zones are, so I'm gonna have to find out where they are. And it was interesting, that's for dang sure.
Well, just so you know, the trees do move when the wind is at 19 miles an hour. So everybody knows. We are looking at that right now. It was something I said in the beginning of the race, and I was like, man, hopefully with 19 mile an hour wind, the trees actually gust. But can you feel the wind? That's the other thing I wanted to ask.
I don't know. I was looking at it, and I have race labs pulled up, and I have my weather in the top left, and I could see that it was windy, that it was 19 the whole way around. I think really because it's just a road course. I honestly couldn't tell if the wind. I couldn't tell if it was just me not getting on the brakes hard enough if the car wanted to take off. Because I mean, honestly, it was really just it was so cars don't want to put down power. I mean, it is you're spinning tires on exit. So I honestly couldn't even tell. I couldn't even really feel the wind. I knew there was wind, but I couldn't tell which corner it was in. So I mean, it wasn't moving the cars around like it would at an oval. That's for sure.
I always ask. I like to. I have genuine questions, and I should ask that to Nate too, if he could tell the difference, because I watched drivers overshoot quarters, and when I was talking to Nate about it, he had 6 off tracks, you had 5 off tracks, and when I watched everybody make mistakes, and that happens when it comes to these tracks, but it can turn around and bite you in the butt. Um, Rebounding, I think, is the biggest key, and watching you guys do that through the field is fun. Which was fun. That was what was fun about it. And seeing the Mark Retch and Bryce Kobler battle here at the end was kind of cool. So I like that. Man, no less green time tonight. Good deal up 7 spots. P3 finish. Give shout outs, man.
Well, I don't have a sponsor, so but I'll just shout out the Moza wheel that I use, Sim Magic shifter, Fanatec, even though I'm probably gonna get new pedals soon. NZXT, Asus, G Skill, Emory Henry University. We just went to that now, so people watching that, Ghost Racing Network, Michael, and everybody for putting on this league. Definitely, it's fun being back to league racing, even though they wear me out every single time I do. I didn't expect something like this would wear me out running track in college and all sort of stuff. But it's surprising that it does this. But that's really I'll have to shout out, and my dad if he goes back and watches this, because he always likes to go back and watch me race.
Yeah, you had a good little race, had a good little battle. Lots of things. Lots of things go go in the right direction. Hopefully, one of those people out there that you mentioned, like Magic and Phonetic, and all those people out there that have those opportunities to bring affiliate sponsorships to people who I know get out there and watch your streams, should pick up some of these drivers like Bryce. Get up there. They get inside the top 3. So, I know they watch. I know they pick us out. I know that because I get emails and messages all the time. Not coming to me, go to these drivers. These drivers are going to give you just as much exposure as I ever could. So, because they're going to be talking to them, we're going to be talking to them. Thanking you. They're going to be saying, "This is the equipment that I use. This is what I do. That's what I recommend for people." I know we have a platform, but
yeah, nothing can beat having a car that's going around the track, even outside of leagues, that's repping some sponsors on it. I mean, I've had some people ask me about some stuff about it, but that definitely can't beat that.
Drivers are what make us look good. I showcase what you guys can do, but you guys as drivers, like Nate, like I'm gonna have to root against him again because he's winning again. I love the guy. I think he's an amazing driver and he's fast. And Stryker said exactly what I said he was going to say. And watching you, and the only oddball out of this one was the battle for third here that was kind of picking up at the end. I think this was 5 laps longer. It gets a little closer, and I think that would have been like the cooler battle to be able to watch, the battle for third. So, you guys had a great race. So much love, man. Congratulations. I know we're going to Bristol next week, so that one's going to be a little bit more action packed, and probably I will be on my toes, and I think all of you drivers will too.
Yeah, that's the track that I'm closest to. I'm kind of in between Bristol and Martinsville. I'm about less than an hour away from Bristol, so that's my home track, and I absolutely love Bristol, so that'll be fun. Hopefully I don't get wrecked out though.
Hopefully they give everybody a fast repair.
Oh, yeah.
I know they don't. I know they normally don't. But it'd be cool to see. I mean, it's going to be Bristol. Bristol's. If we don't expect a wreck at Bristol or 10, I mean, if it doesn't, cool. If it runs green to green, we've seen it run green to green. Bristol's that kind of track that can do that. Um, especially in this Cup car. This Cup car runs phenomenally at Bristol. Um, I think that I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting because Chop, these guys always have a, a good a good race line, and the cautions kind of been minimized here lately too. So I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be fun.
It definitely will be.
All right, brother. Well, good luck on the rest of your races this week. We'll see you next week, brother.
Thank you.
That's Bryce. He comes home P3. Love it. We appreciate him. We appreciate all the drivers. Thank you to Stryker. Thank you to Hammond. Thank you to, of course, I know that you guys saw Premier Racing Setup Shops in the early portion of the stream, whatever you were watching. That is Signature Esports sponsor as well as Chop Shops. You can use promo code Signature15 or Chop Shop 15 as either one of your promo codes to buy some setups out there. I encourage you to do so because they have some of the best setups out there on the market. So much love to them. Thank you to Chop Shop Racing, Stay Tuned Sports, and of course the Chopp'N Up podcast. Make sure you check out all those fine folks. Thank you to Admin Box and Track Racer, who have been a big, long-time supporter of Chop Shop Racing. So make sure you go check them out. Adminbox.com. Use promo code ChopShop10. Save 10% off your Admin Box today. He's got new products coming. Been keeping up on what Admin Box is doing. He is partnered with another with a mold manufacturer, and they're out there making a new outside box or a new case for it. And so they're getting ready to put those together. They just had their first production ran yesterday. And so they're going to be doing some cool things. Thank you to Track Racer as well, trakracer.com. Redefine your gaming with a Track Racer setup. Track Racer has been one of the best sim rig companies on the market for a long time. And they pretty much have everything that you could ever ask for within everybody's price range. You want to spend $10,000, they can help you spend $10,000. You want to spend a couple $100, they can help you spend a couple $100. That's a chance to do it. Use promo code ChopShop for that, as well as save a little bit of money. Helps out to support this league. Chop Shop Racing is sponsored of Signature Esports. Thank you to not Admin Box. I'm sorry. Beef Jerky Unlimited. Thank you to National TV Sales Rental. Thank you to Seattle Carpets. Thank you to Mandy Road Racing, Dark Horizon Fishing, and I always forget one. NordVPN. Seattle Carpets, I did say, and of course, Chop Shop. We love them. We appreciate them. Premier Racing Setup Shop again. I'm missing one. Forgetting one. Missing one. I don't want to look it up. I don't remember. No. I don't know. You missed last night's race. It was an amazing race as well. This was fun, folks. I don't want to take away from road course racing. I really don't. I like road course racing. I like calling road courses. This one was interesting to watch what the tires are doing. It was interesting to watch the braking zone. It's interesting. It's an interesting track. I don't think it's meant for. I don't think it. I know it's not meant for NASCAR. I think this would be interesting more so in the trucks or the Xfinity car. The Cup car just seems too big for it. I think the racing would have been a little bit more on edge with something with a little bit more or a little less horsepower, like the trucks or the Xfinity car. I don't know, but it worked. They tried it out. I probably will never call another race on this track again, but I do have it now, and now I know a little bit more about it. I hope they do the Daytona road course, the Chicago, or the Charlotte road course. I love the Chicago street course. I think that's a great course for everything. You could run that in the trucks, the Xfinity cars, the Cup cars. You could run it with four-wheelers, and I'd still be happy with it. I think that's a great course. Road Atlanta is a ton of fun as well. There's a lot of road courses that I do like. There's a ton. There's a ton that I love. The Atlanta Street Course as well. man, you name it, and I do like road course racing. This one was just a little off for me, and I don't want to take away from the race, 'cause the race was a good race. It was a clean race. There was some contact, a couple of drivers, a lot of off tracks, a lot of drivers just trying to figure out the racetrack as they were driving. A lot of people bought it yesterday, like I did. Um, it is what it is. So, if you want to get a part of the sim racing experience, make sure you go to iRacing.com. Sign up for your subscriptions today. And of course, you can use my name, Jason Followell. That is Followell, Jason, Jason. You can use me as a referral, and that'll help us buy tracks like this if you want to. You can also use any one of the drivers in here as referrals as well. I would encourage you to do so because they deserve it just as much as the next driver out there on this one. So, Brands Hatch is out. It's done with. We'll be at Bristol next week. Tomorrow night, we're going to be at Watkins Glen. So we'll be back-to-back road courses. Watkins is, that's a little bit more of an exciting race for me, because that track I find gives good racing. However, you never know what's going to happen at a race, and that's going to be in the trucks tomorrow night. And we'll be at Talladega on Sunday. We'll be off on Monday, back at it on Tuesday. With the trucks for Chop Shop, they got 2 races left in the series. I think it's Richmond and then Homestead, and they're going to crown a champion. Wednesday night back for the Heart to Heart Cars Tour, and we're just going to be going through them. We're going to rotate. We're going to do our thing. So thank you to everybody. Congrats to Nate on his 7th win of the season. I'm going to continue to give him a whole bunch of junk because he's a dang good driver, and I'm gonna root against him a little bit, just a little, because somebody's got to give him crap because he's such a dang good driver, right? But he's a good guy, so it's not take away from anything he did today. He drove his butt off, and Striker, I know it's 7 seconds back, but 7 seconds is two off corners for Nate. He would lose 2 or 3 seconds on a corner he screwed up. So, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I don't want to take anything away from what any one of these drivers did, because they completed all the laps, and Striker did lead a lap, so that's a bonus point for him. And he finished second at the stage. So those are just more points that battle in his direction. But he finished second a lot to Nate. When you get ringers, what happens? We want to see multiple winners, but we also want to see good hard racing. Folks, be good, be safe, be kind to another budgie. Much love to you. Thank you, dear, for being out there. Thank you to all the folks that have given us all the cool stuff you guys have been doing. You're all just amazing, and I appreciate you all very much. And I appreciate the drivers. I appreciate Chop Shop. I do appreciate the opportunity to call interesting things like this. It's unique. It's unique in its own. So, see you in the next one. Be good.